Incorporated May 7, 2010, the Sangudo Opportunity Development Cooperative, or SODC, is a first-of-its-kind investment cooperative which leverages the significant financial capital available in rural communities from local residents. For their first project, they raised $220,000 with 22 members. The maximum total allowable investment per member was $10,000, with a member share costing $1,000 and the remaining $9,000 being allocated to shareholder loans. The SODC is structured as a co-op, whereby investment proposals are evaluated by a 5-member board, with final decisions going to general vote. 1 member, 1 vote. Sangudo itself is a small community of 364 souls located northwest of Edmonton. Typical of many small rural towns in Alberta, there has been a steady loss of key businesses and services over the last few decades. But what it has is a group of dedicated leaders who are taking on the challenge of creating and growing the SODC for the purposes of enhancing the social and economic well-being of their community.
I believe that the community came together in a crisis. So actually it was 2005, 2006, our local school board decided they were going to close our high school, and the community really rallied together, and we were successful in keeping our high school open, but it brought the community together. And with that we thought, you know, it's up to us to keep things rolling, make our community grow, keep it vibrant. So that's kind of where it all started.
When we first started the Sangudo Opportunity Development Co-op, I don't think that return of investment was really the main focus. It was about people working together to recreate our community as a community. We realized we had to do it rather than have Sangudo just end up as a dust step on the roadmap. And really our purpose in our articles of incorporation say it all. The purpose of Sangudo Opportunity Development Co-op is to support and to facilitate the development of businesses and undertakings which enhance the social and economic well-being of our community. One of the things we realized was that money isn't the challenge. There's lots of money around. In fact, I would bet that most rural communities, there's millions of dollars of investment money that is sitting in RRSPs and bonds and the New York and Toronto Stock Exchange. So it was about simply leveraging those dollars and bringing them back into our community. We were in a perfect time because the economy was suffering a little bit. People weren't earning much on their investments. So this way they can have them tied up right in our community where they can see them grow, where they can be a part of the growth of their own money and see how it's enhancing our community as well.
Well, initially, yeah, we were investigating the feasibility of an arts cooperative. So, we weren't thinking investment co-op at all.
But the big thing that came up was that this place right here, the owner had been around for quite some time, close to retirement. He wanted to get rid of it. It wasn't in the best condition, but there was something that was there. And within that group of people, one had had some past experience with a meat cutting in this exact plant. And the idea was born at that point.
That the SODC bought the land and building. And we bought all the business and the equipment. And so the SODC is our landlord, and we rent off them, and we pay them a monthly rent. Plus, on top of that, we give them 6% of our total profit. So the better we do, the better they do, and we have the whole community involved in it, and they want their interest to rise, so they'll promote and help the business and bring their own meat in. So it's just a win-win all the way around.
Key lessons, it's people. It's all about people. There's people to find to run the businesses, because as a co-op, we don't want to run the businesses. We just want to be the business incubator. And so it's about finding the right people to run those businesses where they're running it as their own, because it will be their own. And then the people that are involved in the co-op. We learned that we needed to start with a small group. People that we really like, we know, we trust. And so although we're 22 members, really it's only 8 families. So it's a small, tight group. And that will grow, but it was a fabulous way for us to start.
By putting everyone on an equal playing field, no one was there were no members that were subordinate to a specialist or an expert. everyone trusted each other because they're all neighbors and friends, and everyone was on an equal playing field. So we had just as much to lose and just as much to gain by working together. If there was only one owner and a bunch of sort of participators, I think it would have been a lot, I don't know, there would have been a lot less trust and a lot more difficulties than there were. I guess the investment co-op and that whole rolling forward and continue from project 1 to 2 and so on is really well suited to small rural Alberta or small rural anywhere. Because of the demographics, and you have the young people moving away to get educations and staying away, typically. The older business owners looking to retire, the baby boomers that are retiring and giving up their businesses. And we just saw it as, my family and I, and Kevin's family as well, saw it, and the other investors in the SODC see this as fertile ground to start a business when we probably couldn't have afforded to do that in the city due to competition and higher costs for buildings and land. So here it's sort of a great way to start a business and to make it feasible for someone who's younger and has maybe less experience or less capital to raise capital and start a business like they would have in the city. Just it's not as accessible. But the hardest part, I think, demographically, is to find the folks that want to and are able to stick with it and run the business. So for the veterinary practice, for example, we need a vet who wants to relocate here. So you need to convince young people to just do it and to be willing to move to a rural location and live in a small town and enjoy all the benefits. But it seems like the message in marketing in society isn't about that. It's all move to the city and buy $5 coffees and have an $800,000 mortgage, in your 20s. I think so. That's the hard part. I think that in our community and for other businesses, you have to find other people willing to stick their necks out and start a business.
Around legal parameters, with this co-op investment model, it's the first of its kind in Alberta that we know of. There's similar models in other provinces. In fact, it's the first of its kind in Canada because there's actually no real supporting legislation around this. Co-op structures in Alberta, the co-op legislation in Alberta does allow for some certain exemptions for local investment, a $10,000 ceiling on an 18-month basis. After that, $5,000 per member. There's exemptions beyond that you can work with if you're an eligible investor or a sophisticated investor. Those are particulars we can talk about on a case-by-case basis. But really what it does, it ties the local money to local investments and local control.
I think that the co-op model empowered us. It gave us the strong recognition of what we have and how far we can go with it, just working together as a team. I think every small community has that. They just need to find the right people to make it really click. I just think that it's been a huge success for us, and not just as a business, but as a way to strengthen the whole community, because we have more faith in what we can do as a group now.